Hello, everyone. Welcome to our 8th annual holiday trader party for lockingyoursuccess.com.
I wanted to say first that I've followed your program for a long time now, but I couldn't pinpoint the exact time when I
Hmm.
started to follow you. But I remember initially you had a whole series of YouTube video, and that's how I started to follow your techniques. And then I joined the program, and I've never left ever since. So I think I'm one of the OG. But unfortunately, it does not always correlate with great success. So last year, I felt I was getting there. And then, which is a good thing, I guess, I got promoted job-wise, but my trading restrictions, and so there was no possibilities anymore. I could do the type of trading you do. But I guess what I want to share is that the
Oh, well, the thing is, we had talks about that, right? Because,
yes,
job, it doesn't matter. Yours came from a job. It might come from a market change. It might come from some kind of a law change or whatever within the marketplace. But the reality is we can make adjustments and adapt to whatever type of trading that we do. And I think, between the discussions that we had and so forth, we made adjustments, right?
I agree. So effectively, I've tried to continue to trade with the constraints I have. So I've done two different things this year. One
Hmm.
is I've got two types of portfolio. One which is not really a trading portfolio, which would be more of a long-term
Hmm.
holding portfolio. But I've been trying to incorporate some a bit more trading. So what I do is I have a list of ETF that I
Hmm.
follow, and I short options or I go long, and and I create an asset allocation this way. But I use options and I use technical analysis
Hmm.
to try to enhance the returns. So that's one portfolio, which is the more long-term portfolio, and I have the trading portfolio where I've done essentially the three indices,
Hmm.
and I need to use the ETF. So I've been using SPY, IWM, and NDX, and I do many spreads. And so I'm using your technique of price pattern. So I
Hmm.
try cup and handle, the to be reversal, and I put on very simple trades, or sometimes even I go short options. Uh,
Sure.
so so I've been using so I continue to look at the market outlook religiously every week. I thanks Chris. I think he's on as well for his the analysis he does as well every week, giving us the levels. Uh,
Yeah,
and
definitely a big thank you out to Chris
yeah,
for doing that
exactly.
for us. Yeah, that's
And I wait for the good timing to put on spreads. Sometimes weekly, sometimes longer, and that's what I do. So it became very simple, but I still use what you teach, especially the technical analysis.
good to see you made it through 2024.
It's been a long year for sure for a variety of just personal reasons, uh, but fun and the trading. Really busy year, and that all that being said, I haven't really traded as much as I like to, but I still am active and still keep up. But I still enjoy it more than anything, and I'd like to apply and learn, continue to learn. I like to apply the concepts that I've learned from trading with you all and listening to your webinars and from this community.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I like all types of different investments. So it's an interest of mine and it's turned into a hobby. So I'm full time, accounting finance professional, part time trader, and then lifetime student, I would say, of trading. My trading is really all in options like you teach now.
Hmm.
And so I
Okay.
don't, I may dabble in some stocks, but I'm more a longer term investor with that capital, but I kind of view the options trading as kind of a diversification away from that. And so I
Hmm.
allocated some of my capital to do that. And that's where my active trading is done. And that's really been something that's been more recent. Okay, your next level is to learn how to make more money with less risk,
Right.
and maybe get a little more directional. So that's really
Hmm.
those are the two objectives I have right now in my career. Is like, okay, how can I get a little more directional with my trading? So I need to study, price behavior, price patterns, technical analysis, a lot of the things that you teach in market outlook and all the other forums. But then also, recognizing what kind of positioning, gives me kind of a better reward for the risks that I'm taking and when I want to take those. So that's really my focus. As you evolve as a trader, I think you're going to, and if you want to be more consistent, you're going to have to learn those to adapt and to ebb and flow with what the market does, and when to recognize it's changing and when it's just noise.
Right.
So those are the things that I think I really focus on mostly now is understanding the price action. I fairly know which tools I want to bring with me to take advantage of that, but it's
Hmm.
really trying to identify those high probability opportunities, and not, I'd say, and probably one of your questions is what would you tell struggling traders? Um, I feel like when you come from a long investment mentality, you always feel like you got to be in the market. And that's one of the things I've learned in option trading is you don't always have to be in the market. Like you can sit and wait for a really good opportunity and take advantage. Now, there's always things you can take advantage of, right?
Right.
But there's always things to be able to take advantage of. It's just whether or not you want to go through the, the mental and you have the time and to do what it takes to be successful with that, whether it's if we're a lot of volatility or not a lot of volatility. Um, but I've gotten more comfortable not feeling like I got to be in the market all the time and waiting for my opportunities.
Just wrapping up my fourth year with Luck in Your Success, trying to be a little bit more independent with how I make money and, have another steady, hopefully, source of income so that I can provide for my family and have a little bit more reassurance. And so that's when I sort of started my journey. And I'm in IT, and so I'm very analytical when it comes to my thought process. I love to live in black and white worlds, and it's been a learning experience to come into what can very seem like black and white, up or down, win or lose. But options kind of throws in a different mixture of that. And there's a bit of art form that comes into how you trade in the options realm. And that has been a big learning experience and something that I still kind of struggle with every day is trying to be a little bit more artistic and open to challenges and not feeling as though every move that I make is a win or a loss. And so it's been a really cool journey. First 3 years, even kind of into 2024, I was doing a lot of the trades by the guidelines. So I had sort of hooked myself into the Russell 2000. And so I followed the track of learning all of your trades and trying to leverage those as various different tools in my tool belt. Really kind of attached myself to the M3.4U, not necessarily for its simplicity, but I think for its ability to um, do well in various different markets. I continuously try to find the time kind of, I'm on the East Coast around 3:30 to sometimes put in my adjustments. And I deal with a lot of meetings throughout the day. And so sometimes I'm not able to attend or make an adjustment here or there. And so M3.4U has been great in that I can quickly put in the trades on my phone ahead of time. If I happen to be in a meeting or something like that, I can pull it up and quickly execute it. It's been an evolution, and now I'm starting to get a little bit more into those. I kind of really like the idea of, its simplicity, being able to, draw some trend lines, support and resistance, take some of the keys that you're mentioning in market outlook and say, okay, what's the probability that the market, could, go up here or down here? Put in a simple vertical, and then from there, you start to make adjustments. And I
Hmm.
almost kind of, I love analogies. It's almost analogous to saying, well, as you get closer and closer to expiration, you're trying to land that plane, and so you want to land it in a safe method. You don't want to just crash. And so I'm learning
Right.
now how to slowly land that plane, which is great.
Hey,
Hey,
John.
Stephen. Hey, Stephen. For those of you who don't know, Stephen is our head options coach and mentor. He's been with us for I don't even know how long, for quite a while now. And
God,
I
yeah.
really appreciate all the things that you do for us and all the stuff you do for our students. It's been just great having you here. So,
Well,
and with
thank
that,
you.
I'll let
Feelings are
you talk.
mutual. I would say this year, process over outcomes, right, is what I'm driving at. It
Hmm.
really, really, really tightened up my process around trading, and there are many processes. The one I'm really talking about is having a defined process for setting aside time where I'm going to read the market, make my assessment and my analysis, where I see opportunities, trade selection, what strategy I'm going to match up with my market read, and how I'm going to manage the trade. And then for me, most importantly, and this has always been important, but I think this year, this particular component of my process I've gotten the most out of is debriefing. I
Mm.
have learned so much more this year from debriefing. And as most people know, it used to be the losers for me. You learn the most because those are kind of the ones that grind on you. Although you should be able to learn something from all your trades, I just
Hmm.
didn't have as many losers. And so that's probably a good thing. But I had a lot of winners that should have been twice as big.
Yeah.
Um, I mean,
Yeah.
really a lot of those. I take away from it, that's great progress that I'm winning, but I should be winning more versus I'm still not, I'm losing and not making money. That's, I'm looking at it that way, but man, it could be somewhat painful when you look at a trade and you're like, wow, had I done this very simple thing or not done this other thing, it's usually over trading, and I'll touch on that later. I would have
Hmm.
made 2x, 3x more. The third area that I'd say is the biggest win is just really improving my technical analysis and chart reading, which should be a uh, constant process for everybody, right? You should be better each year than you were the prior year, but I definitely could see uh, jumps in that for me. Which like I said, I'm always a student of the game, but
Right.
I want to
I think the
acknowledge that.
market outlook really helps with that too. Just going through and
Oh yeah.
analyzing what happened and what it means and
Mm,
what certain types of things should do and what they do
yes.
actually do. Yeah.
Yes, and good. Glad you mentioned that. As usual, I will do my market prep just for people if they're looking for kind of a little process here around technical analysis on Sunday before I see John, right? And then I'll put in. And the other thing I started doing not that long ago, just because I was kind of curious, was adding the expected market move, weekly moves to my charts, and I have found them to be effective and impactful. And
Yeah.
then once I lay that out on my charts the next day, then I will watch John and compare and contrast. Am I seeing the same things John is seeing? Am I seeing something he's not? Whatever the case may be, it's kind of like it's additive, but you're also kind of grading yourself to a certain degree. Where is his eyes gravitating to? Where were my eyes gravitating to? Am I being too zoomed in? Am I not zooming out enough? So you're not only using the market outlook to um, help you with your TA, but grade your TA.
And with that, I hope that you guys consider joining us. We have a lot of great programs. We've been helping traders achieve success since 2006. We have our Go membership, which is more for either guidelines-based, non-subjective focused traders or newer traders who want to learn the ins and outs of how option strategies react and entry, exit, adjustment strategies, and so forth. We have our Market Outlook membership. It's training on how to interpret and understand price action. And that will help bring you to the next level where you can, if you understand the trade, you understand the benefits, you understand the drawbacks, and you understand the components within the trading strategy and what we're doing with the different types of adjustments and so forth, and then you understand your price action, you can really combine that together to go to the next level and do these subjective, high reward, low risk focused trades where you can risk a very small amount of money and make a very high return on them. And you no longer have to worry about having all your money in the market and making only, I don't know, 5% a month on your money, right? Which for us in the pro membership seems ridiculous. ridiculously low. Like, why would you put a bunch of money in the market to make 5% and hope that we don't get some sort of a market crash and wipe you out? To me, that just doesn't really make sense necessarily. So with this type of trading, we can make just as much money. Like if you want to make, if your 5% is $10,000 a month, you can take a very small percentage of that money that you're using to make $5,000 a month, and you can make $5,000 a month with it. And when you do that, you don't have the risk of the market crashing necessarily. You might lose a trade, yeah, but it's a small amount. It's very defined. There's no way, if you're trading it right, there's no way you could possibly lose your entire account in that way, right? Because you're trading more intelligently. So that's where we focus on the pro membership. So anyway, hopefully you'll consider that. Hopefully you enjoyed the party today. Wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. And I look forward to seeing everybody in 2025. So trade well, and we'll see you soon.